if we're not able to look at we country as priority, then it's a shame. Sierra Leone should be the priority for Sierra Leoneans. You know, if we young country we are in, whatever they happen, we for try for take the onus, we for take the lead. And I also think to say it's high time that Sierra Leoneans then begin for develop a nationalistic point of view in the things that will happen. We have to be we get for land for put Sierra Leone first, and things that will happen in our life now we country. We get for land for put Sierra Leone first. Basically this week some interesting things that happen now the country way. I just want to call we attention to them. This is going to be a very short live because I just want people them for able for begin for look at situations them where they happen at the country and how we can, you know, how we're able for interpret the situations then and able for make a choice in our life. Interesting things that will happen this morning. The very first thing when you look at what's in the happen, you look at the issue of the First Lady Fatima Jabi-Marabio and the issue of Kokogos. And we see, interestingly, we see Dr. Sylvia Blyden, they call on the Speaker of Parliament for make the Speaker apologize. For me, he say, okay, this is a disgrace for womanhood. You know, it's like a gender-based violence. That's how she puts it and all of that. Well, it's a choice. It's like this is what she believes in. She believes that is gender-based. But me, no one for believes that is gender-based. I know they say this because this thing happened to Fatima. But I look at Parliament universally. I look at Parliament in a different country. You understand me? Every Parliament and every country gets your standards. Every Parliament and every country, they move according to the cultures and traditions of them country and then Parliament. That is how things happen. And if you go to, if you know somebody we don't use for the look South African Parliament, if you look at the way how Malema and others they behave in Parliament, you go know for say this is a different kind of setting. You understand me? If you look at Parliament again, look at Ghanaian Parliament, for example, people that we don't use for the look at Ghanaian Parliament, you go see say then get their own way within the behave in Parliament and get their own way where they can provoke themselves, talk at themselves, you know, promote themselves and do things that we don't call. Fatima being escorted into Parliament and people in the same Kokogos are nothing to say na fitia part Fatima. Neither are nothing to say na disgrace to Fatima. I don't think that. I'm nothing to say they're correct. And I'm nothing to say this is something where the Speaker of Parliament for apologize for. I don't think so. Because traditionally, we in Sierra Leone, one of the things that we like for provoke people. We like for provoke people. I remember say if my memory serve me right, I remember say Anes by Koroma self don't team up na Parliament and people don't make comments. I think they sing. I think that by Anes Koroma or Papakaba they sing something Parliament, all of them thing. And these things are things that will happen in your country. Your Parliament supposed to be a democratic ground. In the sense of it's democratic and it's open. It's now a free ground for parliamentarians for able to express themselves. And so if other SLPP parliamentarians that we don't feel as being victimized by Fatima and they decide for seeing Kokogos with Fatima, they go inside and they're feeling we got to respect parliamentarians them and we got to respect them for them ground. That is their ground. We got to respect the fact that they get rights to freedom of expression. In the place of meeting, in the ground, they get right to freedom of expression. So me nothing to say we for coerce the Speaker of Parliament for apologize to Fatima. Fatima is not God. In fact, Fatima Fitia is Sierra Leone. I want Sierra Leoneans to understand this thing carefully. Fatima Bio Fitia is Sierra Leone. No matter any true leader gets what they call self-discipline. No matter what they do to you at a particular point in time in your life. You understand me? There are certain ceremonies, there are certain places in the way you know they react because of what they do to you. The reaction where Fatima Bio do na Parliament are the biggest victory. In fact, if anybody should apologize, na Fatima Bio for apologize to Sierra Leoneans. If anybody should apologize, na Fatima Bio, na for apologize to the President of Sierra Leone, if for apologize to the Speaker of the House of Parliament in Sierra Leone, if for also apologize to the Vice President of Sierra Leone. Everybody will know me, no say me not to the kind of person we they support the SLPP. Of course not. But when it comes to we national interest, me na the kind of person way I always they put me national interest first. The interest of Sierra Leoneans has to be first. Fatima Bio, no matter, let's say, okay, let we agree, say, what in Parliament do to Ram was an embarrassment. That nine choice. Let we agree, say it was an embarrassment. Does that mean she has to embarrass the entire nation? You not stand up for the vice president. You and the vice president not equal. You are not the president of Sierra Leone. You and the vice president not equal by any standards. You supposed for Timapo, the vice president, a kind side, in respect of the vice presidentship on the head of that man, and in respect of the people of Sierra Leone. Say, yes, me not part of Una, I respect Una, I respect this country, me not part of this country, I respect him and I respect the leadership. You refuse for stand up. You also refuse for stand up when you man, they took the president, they come inside. You refuse for stand up. Me, I don't want to see if you tell like this. But all they talk this thing here, these are the pointers, all they tell people and say, man, be home not stable. Now, all that time make the country not stable. Because man, be home day in war. Now, complete warfare. Because if we don't go on a convention and you young camp, I don't want to see this outside the president in West gets one camp and the president gets another camp. But you young camp lost election. But you know lost totally because there are people in your camp who won particular offices. You understand? Like the Secretary General. Now you camp in there. We everywhere parent come out, parent they tell 10K. Parent tell you the biggest 10K than anybody else they tell 10K. Parent tell you the biggest 10K. But you know what they call. And now you go to Parliament. In a ceremony like that in the Parliament of Sierra Leone, then sing kokoros, you take them personal, which you should not have. Because for any good leader, then provoke you in a Parliament, not in order for take personal at Parliament. That is what Parliament is meant for. Parliament is not only meant to debate, Parliament has to be lively. On a very serious note, any parliament will not be lively. Any parliament outside somebody they go there, you carry chicken audacity go there, you carry your own pomposity go there, you carry pride and arrogance go there. That's not a parliament. Now that's a make many countries they flow into dictatorship. And Sierra Leone is not a dictatorship. Sierra Leone is supposed to be a democracy. But what in Fatima be they constantly prove to Sierra Leoneans now that if Sierra Leoneans don't look at this woman, if una want to support Fatima, una not get sense. Una take this message from me to the one that will support Fatima, be una share this now. Una not get sense. Anybody will not get respect for your country. Not to somebody will worth serve your country. You don't get respect for your country. You don't get respect for the people in the country. You don't work for serve the country. And this is something where we get for take very, very serious. No matter what in parliamentarians then do, whether it comes from the SLPP part of parliament or the APC part of parliament, I don't care. It comes from parliament. So no matter what in parliamentarians then do, you as a leader, not for react in that kind of level of arrogance. That is rude. That is completely rude. That is completely disrespectful. That is not something you should do to the leadership of a country. You disrespect me. But I'm not surprised. I'm not going to talk about your home. Because me as a Christian, I know that a man has to take care of his home. A man has to be the leader that is supposed to be in his home. And that's the reason why the Bible warns we that if you cannot lead your home, you're not fit to lead the church. And the same thing is applied to the nation. If you cannot lead your home, you're not fit to lead the nation. You just not fit for lead a nation. Because if even when President Bion Wealth Fatima misbehave in this kind of way, the president not able to stop him. He not even able for commando because if it were any decent country and if the president of Sierra Leone really be respect Sierra Leoneans, President Bio for command and ban the Fatima Bio not forever attend any public function again with her. Yes, President Bio for ban Fatima not forever attend public functions again with her. In respect of Sierra Leoneans. That is why I think Sierra Leoneans should talk about. Not to begin people and go and talk, say, oh, they disrespect the Mamidi. What you know what I mean by disrespect? Now, Parliament gets their own modus operandi. They get their own mode of operations. We cannot use our standards to stifle the Parliament. Parliament not a place to sign anybody. Parliament a place to sign people and they go and get freedom. Parliamentarians get their freedom. They get right to what they do within that well. within that platform. If we're talking about the sacredness, the sanctity of the platform, the right way parliamentarians can get for operating that platform, that is what makes the platform sanctified. That is the sanctity of the platform. That this is a sacred place, a place where we are not afraid of anybody, a place where we have the full freedom of expression, freedom of organization. You understand me? Freedom of belonging. You belong to somebody. All freedoms as given by the Constitution and by other statutory documents where Sierra Leone has signatory to. You have those freedoms are fully exercised in Parliament. So please, when I pass this word around, we do not have to. There is no way we go force we Speaker of Parliament for apologize to Fatima Bio. If the Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Sengepo, if you open him mouth and apologize to Fatima Bio, me I go blast Sengepo. Then I believe Sierra Leone go blast Sengepo, because Sengepo need for understand say what happen on that thing at Parliament na a disrespect to Sierra Leone. Na Fatima Bio na disrespect Sierra Leone. Because no matter what parliamentarians them do, no matter what happen at Parliament, no matter what they sing, when you man go sing, you man go put cocoros for you. Now when them call you not vex for them. You people that go put cocoros for you, with cocoros, we pull them for you. You not vex for them. In the kind of Parliament now, you can't misbehave at the Parliament. That complete misbehavior. For a woman who say you want to be leader, you say you want to be politics. I look at her statement. She released a statement most recently, a video statement in which it talks say she has always been in politics. She has always been talking about girls and women issue and all of that thing. And make her tell you, Fatima, you know ever in politics. Because what you talk about now England, me not ever see you in politics now England. I don't follow you for a very long time. Not only you become president, vice president, I don't follow you because I'm in the film industry. I know things that we do. You were never doing that in England. Okay, you can't answer. In the very first place, you not ever accept say you were born in Sierra Leone. In as much as I cannot them born you. Some of you know that as truth. But you not ever accept them. On all interviews, before you married Madabio, what you they talk say, you are a Gambian, you were born in Gambian. So keep that Gambian identity. Keep that Gambian identity and take your politics to Gambia. Keep that Gambian identity. You said it that you were born in Gambia and that you are Gambian. In all interviews, before you and Madabio even meet, before you and Madabio meet, all interviews where you don't give, you were born in the Gambia. So keep that Gambian identity. You have no right to politics in Sierra Leone. But like me, I don't blame you. I always talk, I don't blame Fatima. But because when you get people them way in their mind, they're so lost for power that they can sell them birthright for Kokoyebe. They're so lost for power that them people they are so can eat with man pupu, excuse me for language on media. They can eat foreigner shit just so that they think to say they can be lifted na their own place. It is a sad thing. Because when you look at former the newly elected Secretary General of the SLPP, when I be former clerk of Parliament, when you look at in life, if very sorry, if you look at the thank you thing where he talk about and what he talk about Fatima Bio, it's